Water for
Oh, yeah, thanks. My name is Phil Newman, and I'm the founder and president of COBMEX Apparel Inc. We manufacture sweaters for the uniform industry, and I'm proud to say that today COBMEX is one of the leading providers of knitwear to the uniform industry. I had spent 15 years in the traditional apparel industry, servicing Canadian retailers. I'd struck out on my own, tried a few different businesses, found myself in Mexico where I tripped over some factories and brought back some product. I contacted some of my former customers and they all said the same thing, that basically the product I was showing them was typical uniform product, which I eventually showed to uniform customers and landed up in the uniform industry. I wanted to do one thing that was better than anyone else had done to that point. And I thought by focusing on one product category, I would be able to create a brand in a niche market, which is what I set out to do. I realized I couldn't sell from empty shelves and I needed inventory to sell to customers on a day-to-day basis. So I refinanced my house. I was very fortunate. I had a supportive family. I had a very strong support group around me. I was basically 40 years old trying to reinvent myself. I took the money and had the sweaters manufactured to my required specifications and basically hit the road. I started with one part-time employee, and over the years, we managed to build a team to where we are today. The events of 9/11 created a huge increase in the demand for uniform security. This was happening in Canada, where I was servicing Canadian security companies at the time. I decided to make an attempt at growing the business by pursuing customers in the US and offer the best product and service to all customers throughout North America. I always say that 85% of what we do is service. We have a very strong commitment to customer service. We stand in front of our product and we never ever sell the end user. This concept has allowed us to become sweater manufacturer of choice to most major distributors in North America. One thing that was really important to me was building a company on my own terms and establishing a company and a group of people that were driven by respect, integrity, accountability, passion, and innovation. I believe these values and diversity has established our company within the context of the industry in a very positive manner.
How I started off at COBMEX is actually a funny story. I was 19, I was traveling overseas with some friends, came back to Toronto and had 6 months off before I was planning to go to university, which ultimately I wanted to be a lawyer. Needed a part-time job, and my mom one day was at a Starbucks, ran into Phil, let him know that I was looking for a part-time job, and he suggested I come in to see him. A couple days later, I went in, spoke to him, hired me on the spot, and I started working part-time in the warehouse. Fast forward a couple months, and Phil calls me into his office one day and says, I think you'd be really good at sales. Why don't you give it a try? And I was thinking in my mind that I was going back to school and, it's not something I was going to look at to be my future career. Anyways, I said I'd give it a try. A couple months later, after, numerous phone calls, cold calling, I landed the largest uniform company in Canada. Obviously, I was really happy, excited, continued to do sales, and never went back to school. Fast forward 17 years, I'm now the executive vice president and part owner of the business.
That's
my hair. Action.
I sincerely believe that we're experiencing, once again, a generation-defining crisis with the current COVID-19 pandemic. I really believe that the way we adapt and the way we behave and present ourselves will ultimately define us and define our position in the marketplace and within global business.
I think the way we do business will change, the way we sell, less flights, more Zoom meetings, we're doing more digital marketing, hopefully expanding into more global markets. A key point will also be to innovate new product, and hopefully all these things that we'll do will propel us into the future.